Welcome back to the Cabin Podcast. I'm Andrea Belke.
And I'm Megan Christian.
The Cabin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Counties Association and the WCA Group Health Trust. And this is our first episode of the new year.
Happy New Year, Cabin crew.
Yeah.
We love it. Well, we know how much you guys love food recommendations, everything Wisconsin tourism that has to do with food. So we have the perfect guest in the cabin today. Everyone welcome Josh Russell, aka Dang, That's Awesome.
How's it going? I'm happy to be here, excited. I've watched quite a few of your episodes, and to be here sitting on the same chair that some of the names of our state have been on is pretty honoring, humbling.
Yeah. Well, you came across our desk. I mean,
Yep.
actually, I think it was Megan. She sent me a TikTok and it was you, and we checked you out, and you do so many amazing reviews. You kind of started with doing food reviews and now branching out for other products and kind of Wisconsin-based items and places. And it's exactly what our audience loves, because we all love our state, but you can't be everywhere at all times.
Right. And everyone always needs new recommendations.
Yeah.
So
how did you get into it in the first place?
So it's kind of funny because I never, and I still kind of don't want to be just Wisconsin, but I am Wisconsin based, and I live here. This is my home. I do a lot of stuff here. I have a lot of friends and community members and business people here. And it's one of those things that I travel with photography. I'm a photographer. It's my main job. And although it's not even really my main job anymore, this has become my main job.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. And I travel, I teach photography. I do photography in different states, different countries, wherever. And I'm always looking for places to eat, things to do when I'm in these cities, when I'm traveling. And I've always just been that person that wants to experience as much as I can. So that's kind of how it started, was I was just filming this stuff for me. So if I would go travel somewhere, I would film these videos and then put them up. And then the next time I was there, then I'd be like, oh, I was there and I remember that it was really good, or I was there and it wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah.
So, but they started taking off. And it got me thinking, there's so many places that I've driven by and I'm like, I wonder what that food's like. Or I wonder how fun that place actually is. Or is it really as exciting as it looks? Or is it the places to stay? Are they as beautiful as you really see them portrayed?
Yeah.
So I wanted to give a first person perspective. That way, the people that are watching it don't have to spend their money, waste their money, invest, however, without seeing it first. So I wanted to give these real world examples.
Yeah. And I mean, it's awesome. And you also used to be in music too. You were touring for a while.
I was. So my story is pretty crazy, and this podcast could be 10 days long if I went into the whole thing. But I was a touring hip hop artist for about 10 years, traveled all over. I did country rap.
Okay, yeah, that's what I saw. Okay, wait,
So-
country rap.
So yeah.
Did you write some songs?
Yeah, I wrote everything that I made. The only thing that I did not do is I did not produce my own instrumentals, my own beats. I had a producer that did those, but I wrote my own lyrics, shot my own music videos, made my own album covers, screen printed my own shirts, literally everything.
Okay,
So,
I'm not going to make you do any of it, but can you give us a vibe of it?
so it's funny because you say rapper right away, and that's why I always say that I was a country rapper, because it kind of leads into allowing me to tell what it is. Everybody thinks rapper right away. They're thinking thug, streets, stuff like that. My songs were about bonfires, beer bongs, it was parties. And I wrote a song for a company in Appleton. I wrote their theme song. The company's called Custom Offsets. They build these lifted trucks, big giant mud trucks. So I wrote a song, and it has now over on Spotify, it has almost 4 million plays on it. I still get residuals every month from the hip hop industry. I've toured and played with Bubba Sparks, people like the Moonshine Bandits, all of these big time country rap artists and country artists. And it led into a lot of work for my photography business as well.
Oh my gosh, I'm
my
obsessed.
Yeah.
We could write a country rap song about the cabin.
It would totally fit. Yeah,
a little
absolutely.
jingle.
Yeah.
I do a little freestyle.
Yeah?
I'm not gonna do it now.
Well, it's one of the things that I was never good at was freestyling. I could sit and write a song in an hour, but I could not freestyle to save my life.
I'm holding you to it at the end of this episode. You're gonna freestyle.
Okay, at the end we'll do a little freestyle. Yeah. I bet
Oh,
Nick.
boy.
We got Nick in the studio.
Nick, I bet you're all about
I bet
freestyle.
Nick has some bars. I bet.
But yeah, that was one of the things is when I was touring, when we were touring, we would be gone for 20, 30 days at a time, stuff like that. And we were always looking for things to do
Sure.
to in between our days off and things like that. And it allowed me to travel we played in Nashville. We played in the middle of nowhere, Alabama at this mud park that was famous on TV at one time. It was on like Animal Planet or Animal Network or something like that, and they had this like whole show based around them, and like we got to meet some of these amazing people and see some really cool stuff, and it's just always been in me to experience as much as I can.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think that that's kind of the vibe that Megan and I are, is just like you say yes to a lot of things, and you got to experience this rich life of just so many incredible, and sometimes what feels very random, right? Like country rap, and then a photographer, and then now you have this amazing platform where you're showing people the Wisconsin gems.
Yeah.
You mentioned Appleton because you live in Appleton area, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Are you a big Appleton guy? Because when we do, one of our most viral videos was like our top 4 cities of Wisconsin, right? Which is a heated topic. We knew what we were doing. But to this day, that's the most viewed video. And in the comments, because we didn't name Appleton, everyone was saying Appleton as one of the top
Green
cities.
Bay.
Yeah. So do you think Appleton's the best city in Wisconsin?
Oh man, you're going to put me on that spot. I was good until you actually asked me the straight question like that. Appleton's beautiful. I absolutely love Appleton. It's really funny because I travel everywhere. And people know where Appleton is. Like me living in Appleton and going to Green Bay, I grew up in Green Bay up until I was 21 years old. I moved to Appleton. But like, I don't see Appleton as that big of a city, but like literally I go to Florida and people know where Appleton is. And I've been to Vegas and people know, oh, you know, I fly to Appleton for business and stuff like that. It's a really bustling town with a lot of really cool stuff in it. And I think it does get overlooked. And I've not really traveled to the west side of the state very much. Like I've been to La Crosse a couple times years ago. Eau Claire's, I've never been there much. So like those are big cities as well, but I can't speak on those. But like Appleton's beautiful. Appleton has so much going on. The festivals in the summer. I mean, there's so many different fests. There's, you know, Paper Fest and Cheese Fest and all of these different fests going on.
Paper Fest.
Paper Fest is like one of my favorite ones. They have it's in Kimberly, so it's right outside of or Appleton, and they have big name artists there every year. Like this past year, Joe Nichols, I think, was there. Lone Star was there a couple years ago.
Is it a paper theme? Why is it Paper Fest?
Because the paper mills are in Kimberly. So like, Kimberly was like one of the big paper mill cities, and that's they brought in Paper Fest. So there used to be one called Chicken Fest that was up there. It's no longer around anymore. But yeah, there's so many like weekend festivals that go on in the Appleton area, and I know they are going everywhere. Like there's Summerfest in Milwaukee and stuff like that. Sure. But like, you don't need to travel to Milwaukee to see great music in the summer, or even
and they have great theater too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the PAC is incredible. Even the Meyer Theater in Green Bay. Like, there's enough up in that area that you don't need to travel down to Milwaukee if you don't want to. So Appleton's beautiful.
Well, I have a follow-up question. Having lived in Green Bay and Appleton, which do you prefer?
It depends. So just to your normal day-to-day, Appleton for sure. I still find myself going to Green Bay for food though. So even if it's a chain restaurant, like for example, like let's say like Who Hot, I'll go to the Who Hot in Green Bay over the one in Appleton. It just seems like it's a little less busy all the time. There's restaurants in Green Bay that are in Appleton, and I choose to go to the Green Bay one. I think it's just from growing up in Green Bay. Like I kind of know that city, and I know Appleton as well too, but like Green Bay, I can be like, oh, I can take 7 different ways to get somewhere and still get there, like without knowing anything about where I'm going. So it's just one of those things. When I go on a motorcycle ride, I usually go up to Green Bay for something or another. Every year I start my motorcycle season off with riding up to, well, I shouldn't say start because I start riding before it, but to Bay Beach to ride the Zip and Pippin. Like every year I have to ride my motorcycle up there and ride the Zip and Pippin. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. And that's in Green Bay.
Yeah. That's in Green Bay.
Yeah. So, we just learned about Bay Beach.
Yeah.
You just learned about Bay Beach?
Didn't know about it. I think it's a hidden gem. If you live in Green Bay, you probably know about it.
Absolutely. And I follow a lot of YouTubers online that travel, and like there are people that are like, we're going to Bay Beach, and it's like, to me, I literally grew up there. Like I lived 2 miles from it as a teenager, and like that was like the hangout. So to see people that are like traveling to ride the Zip and Pippin, which if you didn't know, that was Elvis's favorite ride when he was a kid.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, that's that specific one in Bay Beach?
So what they did, the Zip and Pippin was actually
just in general.
The Zip and Pippin was actually relocated in Memphis, I think. And he rode it like all the time. He would go to this park and ride it all the time. Well, years later, they found the blueprints. And Bay Beach bought the blueprints and rebuilt the Zip and Pippin.
Oh.
So that is the exact replica of the ride that was Elvis's favorite ride.
Got it. So
Cool.
Elvis wasn't in Green Bay on it.
No, but the Zip and Pippin, that name, that likeness, the design, everything was his favorite ride. So.
Elvis was in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Megan
he
told a
stopped a
story.
fight with karate moves.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like 2 a.m. he was on the way back from a show and he ran into these, they always call them youths in the
Yeah.
whatever it's called, the research. And so it said 2 youths were fighting and like beating up this one younger man, and Elvis like stepped in and literally like said, "What's going on here?" Like had his karate moves and was like, "Leave him alone," all this. We actually have a video of
I
Josh,
never knew
like
this.
our other like kind of host that comes in here sometimes, but he's doing an impersonation of Elvis.
With the snarl.
So funny.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
never knew that. That's crazy.
It's so funny.
We both learned an Elvis fact today.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So you travel all over Wisconsin and the Midwest, but what would you say has been your favorite stop in Wisconsin so far as a city or town?
I've recently found out how much I love Minocqua.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, I've been there a few times. I actually played a few shows there back in the day at a place called the Big Brown Jug, which is no longer there now. There's a Little Brown Jug.
There's a Little Brown
That's
Jug.
right.
Yeah, dive bar.
so those owners also had a bigger one called the Big Brown Jug. And then
Oh.
I played a show there, and it's now like a thrift store or something like that.
Okay.
So, but I just did a supper club there that has an amazing Airbnb built into it. It's called the Naughty Barrel.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like seeing distance to where I played a hip hop show the first time I was ever up there. But like Minocqua is beautiful. And I guess I never realized it when I was because we'd go up there and we'd literally just go to party and do a
Yeah.
show and then leave. But like that whole area up there is just absolutely amazing. And I've been up there 2 times in the last like 3 months, just cause, and they want me
Yeah.
to come back up in the winter. There's a couple places up there that want me to come.
Yeah.
So
And the
it's-
Naughty Barrel is actually fairly new, I believe.
Yeah.
It was formerly, was it the Golden Pines before?
It was
I don't
it
know.
was something else. Yeah. And
Yeah.
the owners of it, amazing people. They actually have a couple places in Lake Geneva, and there's one in Racine or Kenosha too. So they
Oh.
have I hope it's not wrong, but I think it's called Oak Fire. It's a pizza place in Lake Geneva.
Oh,
So they
They
own
own
that.
Oak Fire?
They own
Yeah,
that as
I've been
well.
there.
yeah.
And then they have an Airbnb there too. So I know that's one of the
Nice.
spots that I'm going to be going to this winter.
Yeah.
Is their spots down there. But yeah, it's incredible food. Naughty
Yeah.
Barrel was incredible food. All the staff was just the nicest of nice. We got there the night before. I took one of my film assistants with me, and they're like, yeah, you can stay in our loft, our lodge above the restaurant. And like we walk in, and it's massive. It holds 19 people.
Oh my
It
gosh.
has one room that has 9 bunk beds in it, and like a 13-person bar that
Yeah.
looks better than most bars in the state or in the world, I should say. It's just amazing. And it's just me and my assistant. And like, we're like, what are we going to do with all of these rooms? So
Yeah.
we made some funny dance videos because they have costumes there and stuff. So like I put on this like raccoon costume and like danced around, and we made some,
Oh my
some TikTok
gosh.
videos and stuff. But like they were incredible. We got there, and like we were only slated to do the one filming. And we get there and they're like, oh, come on down. We'll feed you tonight. And I'm like, well, we're supposed to be here tomorrow. And they're like, no, come down. We'll feed you tonight. We'll give you drinks. Like they were just incredible people, and it was awesome. And the owner, he's from Boston. So I think it's Boston or Maine or somewhere. So crab cakes, and he makes these crab cakes, and they're to die for. And I'm usually not a crab cake person. Like
Yeah.
it's just a texture thing. I'm not a big fan. Like I crave those. Like I want to go back for them. And the funny thing is the owner, he's also in a punk band, and I would have never guessed
Oh my
it meeting
gosh.
him. And like you hear the stories, and you're like, yeah, he's in a pretty popular punk band and like all this, and I'm like, that's crazy. But like it's one of those things that, like, that's the stuff you learn about these places, and that's one of the reasons that I really like doing this is I'm learning so much about people and meeting some amazing people and connecting with them and creating friendships based around just honestly just experiencing stuff and eating stuff. Like it's really cool.
Well, I love that you give a lot of love to the Northwoods.
Yeah.
Because sometimes being down here in Madison, and I'm sure our viewers and listeners, probably get frustrated sometimes, but, sometimes we can't make it all the way up there because, it's like a 5-hour, 6-hour drive. Sometimes we're going all the way to the top. So it's nice to give love to the Northwoods because we do have a lot of listeners from all around the state. It does bring me to the question that we actually haven't covered here on The Cabin, but where does up north actually start?
So this has been such a hot button topic on my channel. Every time I put a video out that I'm like, hey, I'm going to the Northwoods, they're like, that's not the Northwoods. That's not. So I have like a really cliche saying, and then I have like an actual one. So my cliche saying is like anywhere north that you start forgetting about your problems. So like when you get to a certain point driving north and you're like, this is just so beautiful. I don't care what's going on. I don't like, that's my up north.
Yeah.
But now physically for me, I would say anything north of that Green Bay north area, even like Shawano, up into Kashina, stuff like that. That's up north to me. I mean, that's wooded. That's completely different. I grew up in Green Bay, but I mean, you go anywhere up that way, even Door County. So like, I honestly consider anything north of Green Bay to be up north.
So are you saying, so is Door County up north?
Yeah. Door County is a different type of up north. Though.
Hot take.
So, I know.
Hot take.
So my take is anything north of the top of Lake Winnebago is up north. Anything on that, anything south of that, I don't really consider that. I guess I consider it central Wisconsin.
I just saw Nick grab for the mic. Does Nick have a thought?
Yeah, but I kind of retracted because you guys are going to jump on it. But
let's hear it.
I know people that are from like, the edge, like let's say Lake Geneva area or down Kenosha, Racine. They say anything like north of them. Like, like anything up north like that you're going. But I agree. And I could even consider that up north, like the Lake Winnebago area. Because like if you go to like New London to go camping, you technically could be up north.
Right.
I think it's more of like a lifestyle to me than an actual location.
See,
like it's what you're doing, not where you're at.
I don't know. I kind of feel like up north should be like reserved for actually up north. Like Rhinelander and above.
Rhinelander's absolutely up north, but I think because even when I'm talking to like some friends and we're like, oh, let's go up north to Door County, like that's up north. Like it's a different type of up north. It's not Northwoods, but like it's up north. Yeah. It's a more of like a vacation destination type up north. Like so, but I agree when you go to like the Minocqua, Rhinelander, or that area up there, Eagle River, that's up north. That's up north. If they're riding UTVs most of the time during the day and night. I went up there 2 months ago. I stayed at a hotel and I woke up and the whole parking lot was UTVs. There was like my car and like 2 other cars and everything else was UTVs. And I'm like, and it got me thinking, it was like, they take these trails because I know nothing about UTVs. And my friend Tina from Wander in Wisconsin, she's a UTV girl. And I'm like, you can't Google map these locations. Like, how do they find that? So if anybody that watches or listens to this podcast would like to enlighten me on like how you use your GPS to find these trails, are there GPS trails or like
I think
trail
there's apps? Because one of our girls, Lindsay, we actually talk about it in an episode. There are certain apps that you can use that will be specific to your location.
Okay, because I'm like, these people travel like hours away from where they're from, and you can't Google map the middle of the woods. So that's one of those things that always intrigued me.
Once you start to lose service, you're definitely up north. Once you see those signs, the wooden signs that have pointing arrows to different areas and different restaurants, then you know you're up north.
Nick, I think it's more of a lifestyle.
We ignored Nick. He really wants to speak on this
Nick,
topic.
what's your... You were going to be controversial to us, so I want to hear it.
Yeah, who are you gaslighting?
No, I was just going to say anything north of Wisconsin Dells.
Oh, and that's like an hour from here.
Yeah.
Because we film in Madison.
Well, I've always laughed because I lived in McFarland and people from Illinois would come up and like set up their campers and that was their up north trip. So,
there are people from Chicago that'll go to Milwaukee and call it up north. Like that's just one of those things that like that. And I think that's why I say it's more of like a mindset. Up north can be pretty much anywhere in Wisconsin at this point because it's all beautiful.
Yeah, I think Wisconsin Dells makes me go into like vacation mode when you pass it. You start thinking about relaxing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got the nice trees.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's more of a mindset than an actual location. But physically, I say Green Bay North. So
Okay.
come at me in
All
the
right.
comments if you need to.
Yeah.
Because
These are the things, it's so Wisconsin of us to have this controversial
I
topic.
know. I know. Well, so Wisconsin brings me to like classic Wisconsin foods. You obviously are huge in the food scene. Do you have some favorite Wisconsin classic foods?
Oh man, honestly, Naughty Barrel. They're a new place, but like the supper club feel. Like anything with the supper club, anything that has the Miller Lite mirrors on the walls,
Sure.
like those famous, like they have the fish or the deer. I just love a supper club, places like that. But with this channel, it's one of those things that with Dang That's Awesome is like. There are a lot of supper club places that are or channels that are doing supper clubs. I wanted to find different stuff. I wanted to find like fusion restaurants like in the middle of nowhere or Latin restaurants or Mexican food or something like that where people are not expecting it in the area. So like seafood boils and barbecue places. And there are so many amazing barbecue places that are all doing stuff differently in the state. So that was one of the things is I wanted to show, I wouldn't really call it high scale, but like other options, places that you're like I said, that you're driving by and you're like, I wonder what it's like a seafood boil in the middle of Appleton. Like it can't be that good. Like, so like, that's the place that I want to go to and be like, I'm going to try it. And so you don't have to, and,
Sure.
and you can make that decision. So
We should talk about some of the like really popular food items. I know that you've been kind of doing a deep dive on wings, right?
Yeah.
What did you call it? You said it was
it's just a wing battle.
Oh, it's a wing battle.
Yeah, it's a wing battle. So I love chicken wings. I love trying different flavors of them. I'm not a huge spicy person. So like, I think that gives me a little bit of a different edge to them because everybody just thinks spicy wings, where I want to go in and I want to try the maple bacon bourbon ones or something like that. And it's also because that whole series is out of my pocket. I'm doing all of those. I'm going in, I'm buying them, I'm doing them in my car, taking them to go. I'm not sitting in the restaurant. I don't film that much in the restaurant, maybe a couple little swipes and stuff like that. Yeah. But this has allowed me to really, truly rank something. And that's one of the things.
Yeah, if somebody is in Wisconsin and they're looking for the best wings, give us your top 3 right now.
Right now.
In this moment.
Okay. So as of right now, my favorite is Nutsies, which is up in Gleason. It's kind of by the Minocqua area in that area. It's a Jamaican jerk, and it was a dry rub, and it was absolutely incredible. Legend Larry's, of course. A little on the pricey side, but the chicken is really, really good.
And that's in Green Bay, right?
There's multiple, but the Green Bay one is the one that I did.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I should say is I'm trying to, so like I did the bar, which is Green Bay, Oshkosh, Appleton, and I only did the one on Lindale because there's 2 in Appleton. I think there's 2. Yeah. So I only did one of them. So if I do one restaurant, I'm not going to do the others because the wings should be the same at all of them if they're doing it the right way. And then my number 3, which was my that's my number 2, which was my number 1, was Sidetracked in Neenah. That is incredible. Those chicken wings are huge, great portion. They make their own sauces. They cook right there. It's an open kitchen. Like those are really, really good chicken wings. So we got Nutsies, which I have a video coming out for them where I did their full highlight video as well. But then as I was leaving, I was like, I'm going to buy some chicken wings and take them to go. They're like, let us just give them to you. I'm like, no. I'm like, I have to buy them.
Me.
Like I have to buy them.
Yeah.
Like, so that's one of the things is even if I go in and try a restaurant and they have chicken wings, I'm still going to buy them and do that separately. But Nutsies, Sidetracked, and then Legend Larry's as far as flavors.
The Cabin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Counties Association, and this week we are featuring Adams County. Adams County is just north of the Wisconsin Dells. Some would say that's up north, and is known for some stunning natural features. So a little history here. During the final stages of the Ice Age, the waters of the glacial lake disgorged near Baraboo, making Adams County suitable for human inhabitants who had pursued mammoth and mastodon across the Wisconsin tundra. Fast forward, we have the county seat of Friendship. The county is known for the unique sandstone bluffs and formations like Shiprock, Lone Rock, and Quincy Bluff, which offers many opportunities for hiking, fishing, hunting, boating, and golf courses, especially around Petenwell Lake and the Wisconsin River. You also have the Rocha Cree State Park, which protects Native American petroglyphs and pictographs on its rock faces. There's also a lot of small town charm with community events, festivals, and local shops. There is so much to do in Adams County. For more, go to wicounties.org.
The Cabin is also brought to you by the WCA Group Health Trust. Serving local governments and school districts, the WCA Group Health Trust partners closely with members to fulfill their employee health benefit obligations in a fiscally responsible manner. Learn more at WCAGHT.org. I'm trying to think of like another Wisconsin classic food, and cheese curds just comes to my mind. Have you been on a cheese curd hunt yet?
I haven't really been on a cheese curd. So I love cheese curds, but I can only eat a few of them before I'm like, okay, I've had enough. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, I'll eat the squeaky cheese curds. I love those. But as far as deep fried cheese curds, I don't eat a ton. Like, it's one of those things. I like the taste of it. I'll have like maybe a handful and I'm like, I'm good, you know? So my favorite that I've ever had, and I haven't been able to film it because I just didn't get to it this year and I'm only 6 months in, but Bridge Bar in Fremont.
Oh.
So they make their own. And they are massive. I mean, they are like the size of a golf ball. They only make so many per day. And when they sell out, they sell out. And I have never been there. I'm not affiliated with them, anything like that. And it is to die for. Like, they are crispy, super big cheese pull on them, like just absolutely incredible. And this spring I'm going to go up and get some more. So
wow, the size of a golf ball?
They're massive. Yeah, they're big.
Oh
they're
my
big,
gosh.
big cheese curds.
Yeah.
And super crispy, done really well. It's right on the Fox or the Wolf River right there by the chain of lakes, and it's really good food. Yeah,
See,
their
I'm the
burgers and stuff are
opposite
good
of you. I could eat so many cheese curds. Like, I'd never get sick of them, I don't think. I get Culver's cheese curds at least once a week.
At least once a week?
Yeah, it's bad.
Wow.
No, I know.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
I would never
But
survive.
I have lactate on me a lot. So.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like in this state, you're just like, I have to have a bellyache every now and then.
I bring lactate everywhere because it's impossible.
I always
absolutely.
say I have to be horizontal after I eat a good meal in Wisconsin for like 30 minutes, and then I can revive
That's great.
myself.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that, like, cheese curds, I mean, they're amazing. But I get really full off of them really fast.
Sure.
And I like to sample a lot of small stuff, like instead of just indulging in one giant thing.
Well, when you have giant golf ball size cheese curds, I don't blame you.
Let's do one more classic food. Do you have a spot you like for burgers or cheeseburgers?
I've tried quite a few now. J-Dog's in Shawano has really good. It's called the J-Dog Burger. It's really, really good. They have a taco burger. It's a place that even people in Shawano, they comment on my videos and they're like, we didn't even know this place existed. But what they were a hot dog cart in Shawano. They were only open for a couple hours during lunches, and then it ended up becoming an actual restaurant. The family is amazing that owns it. I've actually been there creating a couple videos for them. But they have indoor golf simulators. So they do indoor golf league there now. They do pizzas, they do hot dogs, and then they have burgers. So their burgers are incredible. It's a smash burger style, but it's still this tall after it's done. Mims, of course. Mims is like the place where you pick it up and it's just dripping with butter and all of that amazingness. It's just absolutely terrible for you in so many good ways.
Water.
Yeah, right.
Those are some good like classic options, but you said that you like to find things you wouldn't expect to be in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So can you give us some options of food that you would not necessarily think would be in Wisconsin, but it's like quality food and maybe outside of the box?
Yeah. So, well, there's a couple. Okay, that's two different things then. So there was one out of the box that it absolutely blew my mind.
I see. Okay, let's do out of the box.
So out of the box would be Outlaw Oysters in Milwaukee. So I'd never eaten oysters before. They reached out to me and they said they were doing a media event and they wanted me to come down. So I went down and I'm like, full transparency, I've never eaten an oyster in my entire life. And they're like, you're in store for something. So I get there and I try the oysters. They're absolutely incredible. Like, I think about their oysters a lot now. But before I left, I was looking at the menu and they have what's called an Octodog. It's a hot dog made out of an octopus tentacle. So instead of a hot dog, it had the tentacle of an octopus. And it was one of those things that like was very interesting, but also very good. And I didn't realize how much of a delicacy and how many people liked that. Because I put the video up and there were so many comments that were like, we're from, the northeast of the country and we can't find a good octopus and like these places. And to me, it was one of those things that was like, I will probably never eat it again, but it wasn't bad. But it had like the little suction cup still on the tentacle and like it stuck to your mouth and it was interesting.
Yeah.
But like I'm super glad that I tried it. And that's one of those things that like with this channel was one of those things. I want to push my limits, both food, adventure, things like that. And I want to experience a lot so other people can decide if they want to. So that was one of the crazy foods. But
oh yeah. Is there any other ones? So I've never heard of an Octodog.
No, that
Megan
actually,
is disgusted.
yeah, I'm disgusted. I'm repulsed.
I'm sitting there and it has like salmon roe on the top of it. So like little fish eggs and stuff. So it's like a whole seafood hot dog.
Wow.
And it's very well prepared and elevated and like fancy, I guess you could call it, but like it's still an octopus tentacle literally like laying off my off the hot dog bun and stuff, and I'm like,
wait, what kind of like a hot dog bun are we talking?
Like a regular
like
size?
A brioche bun?
Yeah, it was so I can't think of the name of the company, but they're out of Milwaukee as well.
Okay.
The bread makers from Milwaukee, and it's like a thick, like almost like a ciabatta roll bun. It was interesting, but like I said, I'm glad I experienced it. I probably wouldn't order it again, but there are people that like were commenting. They're like,
love it.
Yeah, they absolutely love it. So it's one of those things that, and that's one of the things also with my channel is like, I'm not going to ever give a bad review just because I don't like the food.
Right.
Like I want to try stuff because if it's something I don't like, I'm going to be like, it's not my flavor, but come try it. Maybe it is yours.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the end all be all of what's good.
Well, and you had to review based on like the vibes, the atmosphere.
Right.
Like, was it clean?
And that place was a vibe all day. Yeah, like
I haven't been there yet, but I've heard about it. Any other out of the box type foods that you've had?
So this is one that, I've had this in my mind the entire time since you messaged me and said like, hey, we might talk about like your favorite places. There's a place in Lake Tomahawk, another up by Minocqua area. It's called Gaslight Tavern. So it is a bar. You walk in, it just feels like your neighborhood bar. And Gaslight Tavern is like the eat street of the Northwoods. There's like 4 places and they all make amazing food. But it's an Asian fusion restaurant. So Chef Brandon, the guy that runs it up there, he makes just incredible Asian fusion food. So I had crab rangoon egg rolls that were just absolutely amazing. He does sushi eggs. So his play on it was like, he'd always go into bars and see like the jar of pickled eggs. Like, like every bar has those that nobody ever eats on the back of the bar and stuff like that. And he's like, I wonder if I could do something with that saltiness, but elevate it. And he's like, well, what about soy sauce? So he started marinating eggs in soy sauce. And then he cuts them and puts like sushi mayo and sriracha and then and they're to die for.
That actually sounds so good.
I actually messaged him and I was like, I want the recipe. And I make them in my house all the time. Like literally all the time I make them. I actually, when I did the video there, I ordered another dozen to take with me that day because they were incredible. And then he also does what's called a moco loco. So I never knew anything about this, but it's a Hawaiian plate. It's basically a hamburger on top of rice, but it's made with Wagyu beef. So it's elevated hamburger with like some gravy. And you can literally, or most of the time, only find it in Hawaii. So he's one of the only places in the state that sell a moco loco. And it was really good. It was like elevated Salisbury steak with rice. It's kind of what it tasted like, but it's made with Snake River Farms Wagyu. And it's like, it was just incredible. And that's one of the places that, when you're like, I would probably drive here just to eat. Like it could be hours away. Yeah. That's one of the spots that I would literally drive 3 hours just to eat there and then drive home because it's that good.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah, those are actually like good food. That's like well prepared and also like cultural food. When I think of outside of the box in like a not great way, I think of like the bug donut I had at State Fair.
So that's my friend Jessica. That's All Things Jerky. I actually used to work for her years ago. I worked at All Things Jerky years ago. I actually did
because they're not a Wisconsin based company, right?
Yeah, they're out of Appleton.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
But I think they travel all.
So they go to all the state fairs and all of that.
So at Wisconsin State Fair, they have there's the alligator claw.
Yep.
And then
I have videos for all of that. I went to their place and I did all of that. Those were like my first 4 or 5 videos on my channel when I went and I was like, I'm going to do this seriously. I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I want to try some of your crazy food. And she's like, we're doing an exotic meat grill this day. Come on out and you can try it. And so I sat down and I did it all. The alligator claw is incredible, by the way.
Really?
Oh, it looked
absolutely
so
incredible.
Yucky.
It looks like a
literal hand.
Leg. It's like
it tastes like chicken. Like it's a little chewier, but
everyone
it tastes
says
like
that
chicken.
about alligator.
I love alligator though. So like
Yeah.
if a place has alligator bites on their appetizer menu, I'm gonna buy them. Like
Yeah.
it's just
And
one of
people
those
love
things.
it.
So
I don't think I've ever had alligator. But the bug donut I did have. I mean, you know how it is, all for the name of a video.
yeah. But the thing is those bugs they're so dried. They just taste like potato chips.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have a taste. And it's not like you think a bug is gonna be like bitter. You don't taste the bug at all. It's just it's a crunchy donut is all it really is.
I mean, the donut's good, and it just has all these like really dry bugs on it. And the one thing that gave me pause was the huge beetle. I mean, that big beetle was the one thing where I'm like, well, I have to like eat this, and I have to like chomp through this. I can't like eat this whole thing.
The whole thing.
But yeah, that was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that like now you have a story.
Yeah,
You know, that's one of the things with my channel is I'm like, I'll try the octopus hot dog because I have a story.
Yeah.
You know, I'll try the crazy food because I have a story. I have something, a conversation starter, and it's one of those things. I get those questions a lot. Is like, what's the craziest thing you've tried, or what's the grossest thing you've tried, or stuff like that. And it's like, nothing's really gross. It's just might not be your taste.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so much more brave than me. I'm sitting over here like hungry, but then you're talking about a bug donut.
Well, and food's interesting because like to us, what could be like so crazy is just like a really normal delicacy in another country. You know what I mean? The bug donut, I don't think has any cultural. I think I think the bug donut is just shock
I think the bug donut's just there to be like,
I said,
what is this?
Jessica and Steve are friends of mine, the owners of All Things Jerky, and that's just them. Like they just want to test people.
Yeah.
And that's them. They had All Things Jerky in Minocqua and Eagle River years ago too. And like they would do there's a meat fest or something in Minocqua, and they would do that every year. But yeah, that's you should probably have them on this channel because they are a riot.
I love
they're
it.
amazing people.
No one's gonna force you to eat the bug donut. Like I did that out of my own free will.
Yeah.
You know?
They do like hot sauce challenges and stuff out of their place, and they do it once a month. They do an exotic meat grill, so they have that grill trailer and they park it in their front of their store and like sell elk burgers and rattlesnake bites and stuff like that. So yeah.
All right, so we covered out of the box, but now do you have any favorite kind of unique places that you found across Wisconsin?
Well, it's funny because like to me, unique is just something that I wouldn't expect. And that's there's a place in Appleton right downtown. It's called Calaveras. It's a Latin fusion bar. It's a nightclub, and they make incredible food, absolutely incredible food. And it's one of those places that like I've been there at night on a Saturday night when it's filled with people drinking, but I didn't expect the food to be as good as it is. And it's funny because I went there and I did a video, and I watched him cook. So I filmed the entire series of him cooking, and he brings me out 2 just incredible shrimp tacos, and I go to do my thumbnail and I hold it up and they slide right off the plate.
This is why I saw the video, is because I saw that video.
All over the table. And he's behind me because like I always try to sit in a normal seat with like the bar behind me or something behind me, and he's like cleaning the bar and stuff, and I watch him go, and I'm like, oh no. so I look over, I'm like trying to like quietly clean it up and stuff, like put them back together, and he sees me, starts laughing. I'm like, I dropped it. He's like, I'll make you new ones. But like, it was one of those things that they were beautiful. They were like what you'd see in like a food magazine and just color and everything. And here it just slid right off. And I have a video on my TikTok of that, and like me going, oh, blank. Like it just hits the table, and I'm like, oh man, like I hope he didn't see it. But their food is incredible. They do different like birria tacos and birria ramen and stuff like that. And it's just really good food there. And I found a lot of places that like I didn't even know was around. So in Milwaukee, there's a place called Fourth Base. It's a bar, very tiny bar. And it was actually in the movie Major League. So the baseball movie from the 90s with Charlie Sheen, and they filmed all the bar scenes there because most of that film, it was based around the Cleveland Indians, but it was filmed in Milwaukee. And they used that. But the place is cool itself because you go in and it feels like your normal hole in the wall bar. But then in the back corner, there's a deli cabinet filled with meat. I'm talking like ribeye and lobster tails and shrimp and just huge meat, and you order what you want. They don't have a menu.
yeah.
You go in, and I was just there a couple weeks ago, and you go in the back and you're like, man, today I'd like a ribeye and some bacon wrapped scallops and maybe some asparagus. And they put it all together and they cook it for you.
Whoa, that's
so
cool.
like they have a menu that has like 4 or 5 like prefixed things on it, but their thing is go there, order whatever you feel like you're eating or feel like you want to eat, and they'll make it for you.
Wow.
That's
and it's
really
elevated
cool.
food. Like I had a ribeye sandwich there that like it was incredible. They do, like I said, lobster tails and big giant full size shrimp. And I mean, you walk in, you're like, today I feel like I want to eat, a giant pork chop, but I want to sit at the bar and shake dice at the same time. So like that was one of those very unique places. And I never knew it was 3 blocks from the Brewers Stadium.
Wow.
I won't call it this name because it'll always be Miller Park to me. So.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. That's really interesting, actually.
But yeah, so that was like one of those unique places that like he reached out to me and asked me to come in. He's like, I guarantee you try my food and you'll love it. And I'm like, okay, like, like I'll give it a try. Like I hear that a lot. So, but I went and I was like, this whole experience is just incredible. Yeah. It's a sports bar to the fullest. Like every inch of it is covered in autographed jerseys and memorabilia and stuff. And then in the back is like a supper club. And then the bar also serves elevated meals. It's really cool. Yeah.
I love that.
Any other spots you want to shout out before we wrap up?
So there's so many places. A&A Restaurant in Wausau was one of those places that like reached out to me. I had no idea what they did. I went in, they do it's called the defibrillator burger or something like that. And it has a syringe in the top of it filled with queso.
Oh.
So before you eat it, you shove the queso and it injects the burger and then you eat the burger. Whoa, so that was super cool. There's Peter's Boys Barbecue in Kimberly, Wisconsin. It's in a small little strip mall that you'd never guess has some of the best Texas barbecue I've ever had coming out of it. Primal Eats up north. They do incredible barbecue and they have an entire like deer farm and stuff. So
yeah, where's Primal Eats?
It's in Gillette.
Oh,
so it's up by Shawano.
Yeah, because they like comment on our stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
actually,
that's how I know the name.
Theirs is crazy because I got to tour their entire facility, and they have meat sticks, like they're like half pound or quarter pound meat sticks, and I got to tour the entire processing plant, see their entire like deer farm that is huge, and some big NFL players like fly in to go there and hunt deer, and like they have a wall of beer, so like you get the little card and you can like choose what beer you want, and then they just charge you for however many ounces you drank and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Incredible barbecue. And I have places that I haven't released the videos for yet that are just some pretty awesome places too, dessert places. And there's another one in Lake Tomahawk. It's called Bake Me Happy Bakery, and they do sourdough bagels, and they were to die for. The Mill coffee shop in Bondwell. So they do a bucket of coffee, so you can get like a little like little bucket of coffee. So the Mill,
you need that.
I have not checked that out yet. I've not heard of it.
The Mill is amazing. The owner Nicole, she's incredible.
Wow.
It's literally if I'm going anywhere up north, I stop in Bondwell to get a coffee there. Like I've driven an hour just to get a coffee there. It's
a bucket of coffee injected in my veins. Let's
go. There you go.
So
2026 is going to be the year I do like I'm going to try to go to there's this coffee book, Wisconsin coffee book, and I'm going to try to go to every place in that book.
The Mill is in there. I know that. They also do boozy drinks too. So they do boozy coffee drinks, so you can get like a bourbon macchiato or something like that.
Wow.
The caffeine might just be enough for me, but
All right. Well, we do have to wrap things up soon, but before we do, it's fresh and new 2026. Do you have any bucket list spots on your list to hit this year?
So one of the things that I do want to focus on is not only Wisconsin, but I am traveling out of Wisconsin as well. I want to do a 12-day trip down Route 66 because I want to feature restaurants and things to do on that, because I was thinking about this, and like, yes, there are amazing things to do in Wisconsin, but sometimes people want to travel out. So I do want to also feature some of that. I just got back from a cruise that I did a whole series on. Now, a lot of the outside of Wisconsin stuff is going to be on my YouTube channel, not my TikTok. There will be some clips on my TikTok, but my YouTube will be more travel. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to do as far as that. That way people are like, well, we have a week. We could do something in Wisconsin, but what if we take a short trip somewhere? So it's going to be based around going somewhere, but from the perspective of somebody from Wisconsin. So like I want to plant, like I'm in those videos, I'll show like I drove to Milwaukee and flew, or like the whole process and stuff like that. As far as state wise, I just want to just get out, and I want to go up towards like I said, the Eau Claire area, that area over La Crosse, come down to Milwaukee more, Madison more. I've been to Madison more in the last couple months than I have in years, and I'm finding more and more stuff to do down here. It's just incredible. I've been working with, talking to my friends at the Tailgate Foodie. So they make seasonings, sauces, stuff like that. Been coming down and kind of hanging out with them and watching what they do, and like they're doing some incredible things with their seasonings, and just coming down in this area. But there's a lot of stuff. I'm going to be, like I said, I have that free download guide that's available. I want to go to Summerfest next year. The State Fair next year, because I've never been to Wisconsin State Fair. So I want to get there and try a bunch of the food and things like that. I was going to go this year, or in 2025, but I was so new in the channel, I didn't know what route I was taking. Yeah. So my friend Jessica from the jerky store, she's like, you got to come down and try some of the food there. I'm like, well, I don't know what route I'm going with this. And like, so I didn't come down, but next year or 2026, I'm going to actually go and check out the State Fair and go to Summerfest and do all that stuff. So
well, we'll see you there.
Yeah,
we will.
Lots to look forward to. We've said your name a lot, but for people, if they want to follow you, how do they find you?
Dang, That's Awesome. So it's my dangthat'sawesome.com is where you can find a lot of information about some of my other things, like as far as the product line and the download guides. And I have an interactive map that has all the restaurants and places that you can check out. But it's Dang That's Awesome on everything, every social media outlet, mainly TikTok. TikTok's the main one. And then Instagram and YouTube as well. So YouTube's more travel stuff.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming in.
Dang, that's awesome.
Dang, that's awesome. Well, yeah, like I said, thank you so much for coming in. We know it was a bit of a drive for you, so we appreciate it.
I drive it all day long to do this.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
For sure.
All right, Cabin listeners, that is all we have for you today. Be sure to go follow Josh on everything, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. All right, Megan, give me a beat. All right, did really well. Yo, I'd say it's a win. We're here with our friends in the cabin. We're not very fancy, yo, we're not very posh, but we're here with our guy, Josh. Oh, yo, I'm feeling kind of sick. I guess I gotta hand it over to my boy, Nick.
Oh, you want me to go? I don't want to make them laugh at you. I got more bars than Wisconsin's got per capita.
Looking for a true taste of Wisconsin? Shop Discover Wisconsin brings local makers right to your doorstep. From handcrafted goods to small batch treats, everything comes straight from the people and businesses who make our state special. It's the easiest way to support hometown talent while finding something uniquely Wisconsin. Check it out at shopdiscoverwisconsin.com. And don't forget to use code CABIN15 at checkout for 15% off your order.
If you love discovering the heart of Wisconsin, you've got to check out Uniquely Wisconsin, a county-driven initiative telling the stories of the people who shape our state. From makers and entrepreneurs to community leaders and local legends, these are the stories that define who we are. You can watch every episode now on the Discover Wisconsin YouTube channel under the Uniquely Wisconsin playlist. Dive in and meet the people who make Wisconsin extraordinary. Today's episode of The Cabin was hosted by Andrea Belke and Megan Christian and produced by Andrea Belke. Audio engineering and video teasers by Nick Cardarella and Megan Christian, with social media by Megan Christian. Production support by Gavin McLean. The Cabin is a production brought to you by Discover MediaWorks. To learn more, head to discovermediaworks.com and don't forget to leave a review.